really bad. I think we'll just have to pass over the people that are struggling the most, and I apologise about that. Fortunately, the logistics are all a bit last minute
let's
here.
just
Yeah.
let's just
Yeah,
try
but
to
I hear all of
talk
you
as
like
clearly as possible.
Okay.
Correct.
So 701 people on the stream. I've never had this many people here before. I hope you're all subscribers. If you're not, you better subscribe now. Otherwise, you're not welcome. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh,
Sometimes people take that stuff seriously, so you have to say joking. Yeah. Okay. We've got a nice instance going on here. Someone's pointing fairly close towards me. I hope they haven't got their hard points out, like this guy here, for example. Yeah. So, okay, let's move on to Alex Brentnall. You were on the Elite Dangerous live stream with myself the other day with Will and Ed and Crow and Polish Dan. So just want to quickly introduce yourself and what you've been doing over the past year or less, if it's less. I think you created your department quite recently, actually, in the grand scheme of things.
Hello, first things first, testing. Am I actually coming through over the Discord? It's, I think we're breaking it a little bit.
No, you're doing extremely well.
loud and clear.
Okay, fantastic. So yeah, I'm running the fleet mechanics side of things with a few other people supporting, helping me out with the Xbox and PlayStation 4 side of things. We're here to try and keep that failure rate a lot lower than it was last time and try and make sure everybody gets to Beagle Point safely. And we'll be around at the waypoints, base camps, everywhere to top up on hulls as needed. And we've also got an emergency channel in the in-game support channel in the FleetCom Discord where you can come and request repairs if you have any.
Awesome. That's a brand new role, by the way. We never had a department like that in the history of Elite. It almost reminds me of the days when the fuel rats were a new thing, when fuel limpets came out, and now we have repair limpets. So hopefully, do you think you're going to be as successful as the fuel rats? Like, are you going to carry on after Distant Worlds is over?
Oh, that's a very tall order to be as successful as they are. I hope so. I mean, the group so far have taken the entire role to heart. They've given us a nickname, the Hull Seals. There's some amazing artwork come out of it. Everyone seems to be really engaged and want to make it as much of a success as we can. So, yeah, I can see it continuing after Distant Worlds.
Okay, great. Moving on. Oh, I noticed Charlie's here. Charlie from Polygon. I'm not sure if you want to say anything, Charlie, but if you do, hi.
Audio check. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Hey, I was just going to hit you in Discord to see if this dang thing even working. Hello, everybody. How are you?
Hello. I can't believe you're here.
Wonderful.
That's such an honor. It is such an honor. Charlie from the magazine Polygon, who's
Please, no,
written
the
4
honor-
articles already.
The honor is entirely mine. I really do appreciate you guys letting me tag along with this. Yeah, no, it's gonna be fun.
Oh, hey, Charlie. Nice to hear your voice.
So how far do you think you're going to make it, Charlie, on this this 65,000 light year journey?
Well, you know, I want to get myself to Sagagang. I've never actually been there before. My goal is I'm at Pathfinder right now on my exploration meter all the way up. So I'm hoping that with the discoveries I turn in at the brand new base near Sagae, that's when I'll hit Elite. So that is my...
Awesome. Okay, well...
But if things go well then, I definitely would like to try and get myself all the way out to Beagle Point, but I don't know. Small goals for now.
Okay, well, good luck. I remember my first trip to Sagae. I actually I made my video series about it. I think, Charlie Hall, you are the one that I have to give literally everything about my YouTube channel success to. If it weren't for you publishing an article way back when called They Sent a Poet to the Stars, I believe, where it was about my Deep Space Survey series, which is kind of a bit of a take on Isinona's series but as an explorer. And you wrote an article about it, and as a result it got a lot of views, and then it made it to the newsletter of Elite, and I sort of became encouraged by that, and everything that I've done since then really has been as a result of that. So can I just take a second to, in front of 780 people, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very, very much for that, and you're always welcome among us, always.
so glad that I had an impact on you. That piece in particular was just really moving for me. It's not often that you see something that's just quiet and has words over top of it, written text over the top of it on YouTube, and it was striking. It was different than anything I'd seen really before or since about this game that is so beautiful to write about. And yeah, I'm glad it had an impact. That's awesome.
Well, look at the impact. If it weren't for me being encouraged back then, who knows if Distant Worlds itself even would have happened. So here you go. It's all indirectly thanks to you, Charlie. So welcome.
Pish posh, you all have put in the work. I'm just kind of riding along, and like I said, it's my honor and pleasure to be present and to cover it on Polygon in the way that I'm able to. So thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Okay, so so I'm just looking at department heads here. We've got basically our console lead. He's actually an Xbox player, but we've just kind of put him in charge of consoles in general. Commander JT. Are you Commander JT, or do you have the 442 after your name in game as well? And would you like to say anything about what you've been doing and how things console related are going? I can't actually hear you, that's the problem, so perhaps we should come back to you, JT. Keep testing your microphone, and when we hear you speak, we'll know that we're ready to come back to you. So, other people who have their microphone unmuted in this chat, Kalan and Alcatraz, if I may come to you for a moment. You are a general administrator for Distant Worlds. You have had a heavy hand with Valens and Darius in making the outfitting guide, and you've done a whole bunch of other things. You've probably put in about 68 times the amount of work that even me and Aramis have put in combined. So maybe I'll give you only like a few minutes to speak, because you could probably speak for about an hour about the stuff that you've been doing. But hi, so nice to have you here, and can I just say it's been such a pleasure working with you.
Oh, thanks, James. Yet again, same with yourself. It's been an honour really to be here and meet, a lot of different people from a lot of different, time backgrounds. Especially, like you said, the outfitting team. And a lot of work put into those outfitting guides, which I'm sure a lot of you watching know of. As much as I can keep talking, I'll try to keep it brief. But yeah, so the outfitting guides was one of the big projects that I helped undertake, along with helping a department here and there. Again, it's great to see how things have actually managed to come together, and it's like a massive puzzle where it's just, all the pieces are now finally here. And it's beautiful really seeing it.
Yeah, it's amazing, and how many people were looking at your outfitting guide yesterday? Like literally the day before taking off, when you think it would start to be dying down?
Oh yeah, well unfortunately the opposite happened. I think a lot of people were doing last minute outfitting. I'm sure some people in the chat would confess to that as well. But on the forum thread alone we had about 70 people watching it. In just one of the documents out of the 8 there was at least 50 people looking at it. Became very successful, and it's good to see you guys are taking part and actually engaging with the content we're putting out.
The content was really quality. I mean, it was a smart document. You were able to kind of narrow your build down quite specifically, and then it will take you to Coriolis.io. Is that correct? Do you want to just explain how it works? So I just want to kind of demonstrate the quality content that the people that have been working on this expedition have been working on, just to kind of demonstrate just how awesome everything is.
Yeah, no worries. So to put it into perspective, all those outfitting guides were primarily done by myself, Valens and Darius, Alistair Hope, and Commander John Bernard. We were pretty much the main takers for it. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to make a guide that encompassed everything. It's very easy to make a guide that's very tunnel vision on this is an exploration ship. Some people may want to fly with shield, some people may want to fly with better thrusters, and that's just how we managed to segregate that by using different tiers and different roles. And we worked with that to encompass it into, someone could say they wanted this specific tier of ship for these roles, and then it would be the most optimal built ship for that purpose. and then we tried branching off from that, and we're currently in the process of it, working with the Coriolis dev at the moment.
Yeah, working
to
with the dev
incorporate
themselves.
it into a Distant Worlds 2 kind of pre-made selection. So what you do is you'd select your tier of ship and the roles you want to be on Distant Worlds, and it would pre-generate the ship that you want with the exact like optimal outfitting on Coriolis. And we're still currently working through that now. We haven't figured out the little niche qualities for it, but it's coming along very well.
Oh, great. Okay, thanks very much, Kalanen. Just as a quick background, you are the one that discovered recently, like very reminiscent of Distant Stars, you discovered once was it the Guardian boosters came out, and the new engineering system combined, when they were both out, you were able to figure out a way to a previously unreachable place. What place was that?
So previously, before my introduction to Distant Worlds and joining this amazing expedition team, I took my own expedition as soon as the Guardian FS2 booster reached, was unlockable, to the Owl Nebula. It was previously a place that you required a jump range minimum of 74.73 light years to reach. However, before the booster was introduced into the game, the max jump range you could reach was 73.75 light years. So as a result, you're all 1 light year short of reaching this planetary nebula. As soon as this booster became available, I managed to swing myself up there and get back down and claim first discovery on the Owl Nebula.
Awesome. And while you were saying that, I'm sorry, I just blew myself up on someone's hull. Thankfully, if I did do any damage, they can just quickly go and repair themselves somewhere. Oh, I'm sorry. I promise I'll learn. Everyone should learn from what I just did. Don't mess around
Yeah, I
too
just
much
gotta leave the
at
wing. Hang on a second.
instances, because you could end up damaging someone else's ship when it's way out in
I've been
out there. But don't
reinstancing
worry,
with all
Alex
kinds of
will always be
strangers.
around with his fleet mechanics to help touch up any paint and
You have to give me a minute or
straighten
two
out
to
any
nightmare
dents.
finding people.
I've noticed that we
I
are
hear
joined
you.
by All Crows Are Black,
Yeah, I
the
don't think
PS4
they're
lead.
you.
Just thought I'd say hi. How are you?
Okay. I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Welcome to my live stream. 900 people now watching, and just wondering if you have
Thank
anything
you.
to
Hello,
say
900.
to them.
Best of luck finding it.
Oh my
I
god,
have
I've
sent a
got so
request.
much to say, but I'm not going to do it because I would just take over the universe if I did that. I guess
Okay, I got it.
I think I've got 2 messages. 1,
I'll take
enjoy
off
the
going to
hell
Super
out of
Cruise.
yourselves. 2, don't blow up yet.
Actually, now's a pretty good time to blow up. Just like, if you're gonna blow up, do it now.
Nice. Yeah, actually, I thought that just as I said it, I thought, no, actually, no, do the blowing up now, don't do it later.
Just get it out of your system.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If you've got SRBs to blow up, you know, do it.
I also know that I'm a wanted man. So if anyone is planning on blowing me up, could you just do it now? Like, just get it out of the way, get out your system, and yeah, we can
Guess
just
who
laugh
I met
about it
today?
and move on, and then we can have a really awesome competition. Thank you very much. So yeah, who else is here? We've got Commander Unknighted from PlayStation 4. Are you part of any other departments? Do you want to introduce yourself to the fleet?
Yes, am I coming in loud and clear?
Actually, you are kind of breaking up. Let's see how it goes. Let's just maybe do a quick test. Unfortunately,
Okay.
Discord is exploding, if anyone hasn't realised yet. So yeah, feel free to introduce yourself and we'll tell you if we can't hear a word of what you're saying. Maybe Crow can introduce you
Okay.
instead.
Well, I am the coordinator for Distant Worlds 2 on PlayStation 4, so I'm basically all crows are black when she is asleep. I am currently like trying to coordinate with all the other department heads if we need someone repaired, or the science team if they need help with something, or of course a mining team. Basically, it's I'm just doing like general admin stuff. Pro is doing a fantastic job overall, and that's pretty much it. I'm not doing any that exciting that everyone else has been doing. I'm just taking the reins when she's not there.
Okay. Well, we thank you for all your services, especially looking after the United States PlayStation 4 players. They are a rowdy lot. It's probably not an easy job.
Yeah, some are, some aren't. You know, someone has to look after my fellow Americans.
By the way, if anyone in the stream, feel free to ask questions. You've got quite a few of us here, so I'm sure you'll get a decent answer. Probably better than I could do by myself. And the last person who I can see in the stream who hasn't spoken yet and who is currently unmuted is Dionon. I'm not sure if you want to introduce yourself, and
Endless Blue Tunnel.
you've been helping me especially in the last few days, so to say hi to the fleet.
Sure, I'm not so sure how my audio.
It's actually not so good, so, but still, I think we can make out the occasional word here and there, which is good enough.
I'm part of the Galactic Travel Agency. We're doing multi-crew exploration, trying to help people who don't necessarily have the time to do this kind of. We want to make sure they'll be able to experience at least some of it, and we have a Discord server set up for it, a friendly bot to use. It'll be great.
Oh, amazing. Amazing. So, and also you've been helping me with some artwork. The newsletter front cover is designed by Dionon. And he's also given me some tips on improving it, which we're going to be exploring over the coming weeks. In case anyone hasn't seen, we've got a newsletter. It has been released via email. I'm going to also be updating it on a forum thread at some point. Fortunately, I've been a bit overwhelmed today with all the last minute preparations, which is my favourite way of working. But yes, there is a newsletter, there is an emailing list, in case you haven't heard of that. You can join that. We'll be sending out a weekly email probably at this point. And we've also got a mug club. And just as I promised, I just want to give a big up to all the people in the mug club. You're the best. You're better than everyone else, which is what I'm supposed to say, as an incentive to join the mug club, which is why you joined it in the first place. We've also got a few questions, but before we do that, I saved the best for last. Commander Greatest, live streamer, YouTuber, rock rat. That's a pretty fine resume, and it's such an honor to have you on our team, and it's such an honor to have you with us right now. Hi.
Oh, that's so nice of you, but I think you're totally overselling me, because from all the people here, I probably did the least amount of work.
Well, so far maybe, but the rock rats are here to minister, to be the silver lining, to be the glue that holds everything together. What sort of things have you got planned? What sort of what do you want to say anything on behalf of the rock rats to the 1,044 people from the fleet that are currently watching?
Well, what I can say is that it is fantastic to be back in this. It feels so good to see all the familiar names again, and the shenanigans are already going strong. I'm currently being tossed around in our instance as a living ball, and we're gonna have a lot more of that during the other waypoints. I do hope that game will kind of behave itself, and we're gonna have too much trouble with, you know, these kind of damage freakouts and ship deaths. But it should be a great time. We're gonna come up with a lot of stuff to just have fun together. That's really it, because the rock rats originally were prospectors, but since that role kind of lost its purpose in the game itself, we veered off to just facilitators, you know, having shenanigans, having fun, and you know, we know a lot of people from the old days, so we can make connections that other people can't necessarily make. And that's what we do.
And you also gain experience of shenanigans and helping and doing all kinds of cool things, even when you were in your role as prospectors. So it's not like you're amateurs. You're pros at even the things that you do now.
Well, I mean, yeah, just with, you know, playing the game for such a long time, you do get experience necessarily in all kinds of sectors of the game, and that helps, of course.
Right. Okay, I'm going to answer a few questions now from the stream. Thanks very much, everyone. And if anyone can answer any of the questions, feel free to talk over me, because I might just be struggling here. But starting from, are you at FleetCon PG? Yes, I'm in the FleetCon player group. And everyone else is welcome to join. It might just be that the joining is a bit choked at the moment. We've had a lot of last minute joinees. to the expedition. We went from something like 4,000 a week ago to 12,000 probably approaching about now. I don't know. I haven't looked at the roster. I'm a bit afraid to look there. It's a number that scares me, to be fair. About 10% of you are currently on the stream right now, at least if you're not spectating, which leads us to one of the other questions I saw. Are you allowed to spectate? Of course you can. I'll be streaming as much as I can. I'll be making videos. We'll be putting out newsletters, as I've said already. We'll be putting out all kinds of publishings, whether it's in the forum threads, whether it's on Discord, publications, that's the right word, whether it's tweeting, you know, there's just going to be a whole amount of content that's going to be published and generated by this, not just from us, but from literally 11,000 people. If we are expecting things to scale up tenfold in terms of the amount of awesome stuff generated, then I can tell you now that minds are going to be blown. So get insurance on that brain cavity of yours. Let's see what other questions we can answer. So what's the best way to contact the fleet mechanics, Alex? I'm not sure Alex is paying attention, so we'll come back to that.
Up there, Alex. You have to say it again more slowly so Alex can actually...
Oh, I see. Alex, what is the best way to contact the fleet mechanics?
Oh, sorry, I was muted there. Yeah, the best way would be to get onto the FleetCom Discord, and inside there we've got a Distant Worlds 2 in-game support channel. It's got a bot function and everything already built in. So you just type !repair, and we'll do the rest. We'll be in there asking you questions and sending someone your way as fast as possible.
Thank you. And I've just noticed that the Waypoint 2 has officially been released. So everybody, you want to know where we're going next? The Omega Nebula, the Omega Mining, what's it called? Omega Mining Station? Omega Mining Station, I think.
Hey.
But that's not the waypoint itself. That is, we're going to be doing something there. And we are heading towards the Omega Nebula. The Waypoint 2 has been officially released. So there we go. It's apparently 140 jumps for someone who's never done more than 20, so good luck with that. You're going to be doing a lot more than 140 jumps, so I hope you know what you're getting yourself into, Roger. Looking forward to being part of the PG. That's great. Yeah, a lot of people are probably stuck, not in the PG just yet. Just join in your own private groups just for the launch event, and I'm really sorry about that, but this is just, unfortunately, things got out of control. Okay, let's see if there's any more questions.
There's a big bump towards the end there.
Yeah, we had a massive bump. There's going to be charts and all kinds of statistics posted about all this soon. Are the bookmarks being moderated in the squadron or bugged? Sorry, say that again?
So yeah, because we've had worries about people thinking that we were fudging the numbers ourselves. And I was like, no, we're not going to be doing that. This is really what's going on, you guys. Yeah, so I was watching a stream earlier, and I saw he was saying that rumors are going around that maybe not the organizers, but maybe other people just signing up on the sheets to boost the numbers to get media involved and all that. And I was like, you know, that's ridiculous, right?
Well, Frontier, I'm sure, can confirm.
It's quite funny.
I mean, to be honest, as with what happened with Distant Worlds 1, we did lose some people along the way, and more people did sign up and actually came, but that wasn't like, you know, deliberate. But we are expecting, you know, quite a few thousand. I'd say at least 6,000 people are going to make it to Beagle Point, and 8,000 people are going to make it. Well, maybe even 8 or 9,000 are going to make it all the way to Sajay. So that's what we're hoping. But, you know, it could grow even more. For all we know, we'll have 20,000 by the end of next week. That's what happened with Distant Worlds 1. We kind of doubled by the time we got to Beagle Point in terms of people that were signed up. So, yeah. The sky's the limit.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Right?
Quick PSA, the name of the station you are plotting to is Omega Mining Operation. That's that asteroid base in the Omega Nebula.
Yeah, well, you can plot there. That's not the waypoint as far as I know. I think the waypoint itself is something else which I don't have to hand. But we will be doing...
It's called rolled landing.
Yeah,
in 7.
Oh, Olivia. Hi.
Base camp, yeah.
I unfortunately am not able to hear Olivia at all. I can hear the occasional syllable, but nothing more than that. So I would love to do a talk with you, Olivia, because what you're doing is quite interesting as well. Well, quite very interesting. And I've told that to a lot of people, and they've gone, "Wow!" So I would love to do an interview with you when Discord's doing it a bit better, if that's all right. Maybe on the next live stream. But yeah.
How's it now?
Pardon? Oh, that was a bit better.
How's my comms?
It's a bit better actually. So do you want to talk about the truckers?
Copy.
Say, is everybody taking off?
Okay. I don't think it's going to go well, Olivia. We'll talk about the truckers later. As a brief overview, we have a role-play kind of thing going on, organised by Olivia and her team, whereby we set a goal to try and carry one of every single commodity from the bubble to Beagle Point. And we've got a lot of commanders signed up taking part in that, bringing their own share. So, but there's more to it than that, and Olivia will give the lowdown probably in the next live stream. If that's okay, Olivia?
Okay, yep.
Alright.
For me.
I'm going to say goodbye to my
Yeah, I
little
think we
tire
should
here
take
because
off
I
now,
think
guys.
the time has come now to travel to the Distant Worlds 3302 beacon. It's half past now, and it might take a while to get into things sometimes, so I think we better make an early start. So for anyone who's watching, a very brief history. Oh, by the way, before I go anywhere else with the stream, I just want to say a big thank you to my organisation team. And the my is not a possessive term. I don't own you guys. I mean my is in, well, I don't know what I mean, but the organisation team of Distant Worlds 2, I just want to say a big thank you. The amount of work you guys have put in over the better part of a year. Well, we announced Distant Worlds in October 2016, which is 3303, basically, right? So you've been working at it. then. You got hired not too long after that, I believe. Aramis started hiring a lot of you back then, asking you to volunteer at least. And you've been putting in an unholy, or even a holy amount of work. You've just really done the most amazing work. You've been throwing around ideas for a year. You've been writing big documents, putting together big databases, big, well, the outfitting thing, you know, it's just been a ridiculous amount of work. I've seen some of you get burnt out because it really is a very large amount of stuff to do.
Evening.
And I can say this without the slightest regret of exaggeration. This expedition would not have happened without you. So, an absolutely massive thank you, seriously, to all of you. From the bottom of my heart. From the bottom of my heart, seriously. And I believe that everyone who's watching the stream owes a big thanks as well. Maybe not yet, because you don't know if I'm just making it up. Maybe we've got actually nothing planned at all. But I think it's you're going to be pouring your thanks out to the organisation team. Everyone here and everyone who's not been able to make it.
I want to just say that real quick, that I want to thank you as well for, you know, setting this all up so we can be a part. You and Aramis and all you guys did an amazing job.
Oh, you're welcome.
And
You
then
are
just
very much welcome.
Also, thank you to all the players that are getting involved, because like was said on the live stream a couple days ago, really it's you guys who we're doing this for, and if it wasn't for them, you know, we'd just be sitting around fiddling our thumbs. So
yeah, it's been a pleasure. We've had a lot of fun. I think a lot of people have spotted us chatting away in the Crepe chat, or whatever it's called, which we're currently in right now, Creep chat. And we've been having a lot of fun. We've been having a weekly meeting pretty much, and we've just thrown around a lot of good ideas, and we've actually seen them come to fruition. It's been a massive pleasure. And the final thank you, I guess, I will echo, goes to Aramis, the brains behind it all, I would say. We based this entire expedition on his courage, his intrepid self, his original expedition, Distant Suns, which took him to the other side of the galaxy back when nobody knew just how hard it would be. And that makes it even harder because it's hard enough as it is. And you can imagine, no one's done it before, no one knows what it's like. And imagine that's you, and you're there 30,000 light years, let's say. You've already gone past the black hole, Sagittarius A, and somehow you're like not even halfway, and you're completely burnt out and you're exhausted, and you have to be like, wow, is this even possible? And he said,
In
yeah.
addition to that, the game back then was a completely different one. Like you had a whole set of additional challenges that you don't really have anymore.
Exactly. It was quite something. It was quite something, and then and he kind of publicized the notion of going on these mass expeditions in the first place, and we all. I mean, I remember reading about him,
drop it
and
on me, okay?
before I even knew him, like I remember the first time I spoke to him, I was in awe, like thinking, wow, I'm speaking to a true like hero. Somehow I've managed to become his friend through deception mainly, and we've managed to put together Distant Worlds, which happened one time we were having a conversation. It's legend now, but me and him were talking about, he was telling me how he's planning on doing it again, and I said, oh, can I come? And then he said yeah, and we were like, why don't we invite some more people? And we posted it on the forum.
Oh boy, this is
and
going
more
to be a
people
delay.
came, and then we realized loads of people interested, so we decided to make a roster. And before we knew it, within about a month, we were going with several hundred people across the galaxy, the biggest thing that happened in the game ever. And well, the rest is legend, really. So anyway, a big thank you to Aramis Kamzor, the hero of the day. And we, again, another person we just could, none of this would have happened without you. Not just in terms of your inspiration, but in terms of your hard work, because you've put in as much work as any of us, if not more.
There's about
probably
like
a lot
200
more.
commanders here.
You've gone to Beagle Point like 10 times just to plan
not quite that
the
many.
route, I believe, and take various versions of your commanders. Anyway, big thanks to Aramis Kamzor. And I'm going to save the final thank you to Frontier, which, well, that's not the final thank you. The final thank you will be to someone else, but we'll save that for a bit later. The penultimate thank you will be to Frontier Developments. They are an outstanding developer of video games. They've made several games, but Elite Dangerous is the one that we all care about. And oh my goodness, we've got loads of orcas coming into this beacon. It's a bit crazy, like NPCs. That's just adding to the fray, I guess. It's David Braben's inspiration that this game was made. A one-to-one recreation of the Milky Way. That's what suckered me into this game. I was like looking at a game about space and thinking, oh, there's no way I'm going to get that, otherwise I'll lose my life. But then it was like, but one-to-one recreation of the Milky Way? That's just absolutely crazy. How can I... That's not a good thing for the stream. Load this space. How can I ever skip that one over? So I bought the game with my wife's money, and it's just changed my life, this game. It really has, and it's changed the life of a load of people.
Oh, wow.
They have put in an unholy, using that phrase again, amount of work into making this possible. They've done back-end work, front-end work, they've done promotion. They've allowed us to have this amazing CG that we're doing. In case anyone in the stream doesn't know, we are building a station in the galactic core, only a stone's throw away from Sagittarius A star. That is wonderful. That is, like, that's going to change the face of the galaxy forever. And I'm just so pleased that they've done that. Now, if you just don't mind, I'm just going to see if I can free up some space on my drive so we don't keep getting these annoying messages. Just give me 1 second.
Is that your cargo hatch open?
Yeah, that way I won't be able to accidentally boost.
Oh, here, somebody wants cargo. Somebody's getting ganked by an NPC pirate. Who is this?
Oh yeah, there are NPCs here too.
Okay, 8 gigabytes freed. Sorry about that. Right.
That's Stoyan, Commander Stoyan.
Yeah, so, where were we?
Joe and
Thank you,
Alan,
Frontier, for all the hard
NPC.
work you put in, for really supporting this event. Really, really supporting it. Oh,
Everybody
someone's
use
got their
good
hard
guns,
points
get 'em.
out. That's probably an SLF though, so I'm going to allow it. But generally speaking, the rules are no hard points are allowed to be out
Whoops.
in FleetCon when you are at a gathering. There are rules posted.
Got his attention now.
Yeah, unfortunately I haven't got a link right now, but just read up. So yeah, again, big thank you to Frontier for wholly and utterly supporting it.
especially for the final
He's
update.
done.
Really,
Yeah,
Good
this
night.
has been a
really
fantastic
still
update.
making this special.
Yeah, because when we wanted to announce Distant Worlds 2, we had to
Start
base it
your
around
weapons again,
something
because
meaningful.
no-
It couldn't
no
just be,
weapons allowed.
you know, just another one of the same
Yeah, stolen weapons.
types of expedition as Distant Worlds 1 and all the other ones that have come since. It has to be something new. And the only way it took beyond updates
so the
to
pirates
make us
going
announce
after
it, but
me.
little
What
did
do
we
you
know
carry,
how
I
awesome
wonder?
it was
Good
going to
thing
be.
I'm not
The
carrying anything.
codex
Well,
and the
limpets.
new scanning technologies are the perfect thing to base an expedition around. Seriously, we are literally doing what
Damn it.
any
I'm
kind
losing
of
concentration here.
explorer could ever dream of, which is literally crossing the galaxy and seeking out new life and new civilization to boldly go. Well, admittedly
you
we've been
picking
before,
up the
but not
the
in this
material?
capacity. So,
Yes, I am.
yeah,
Manually.
a big thank you for Frontier for continually supporting this amazing game. It's slow because they want to do it right, and I'm just loving every single update. When the game gets boring because there hasn't been an update in a while, I do something else, but I always know that they're going to keep working on the game and keep improving it, and eventually we're going to realize the dream of the absolute perfect space game, which we're very close to as it is. So anyway, enough sucking
God,
up
it's hard
to
to see them
Frontier.
against the dead of the star. Oh, that one ricocheted into my hold.
What did I have next? I actually have a story to tell. I'm not a storyteller, so I have no idea how this is going to go. But I thought I'd tell a story. Is that something that would interest 1,290 people? It's a story about a famous explorer, nonetheless, no less. Ferdinand Magellan. What's his name? Ferdinand? Magellan. The guy who the Magellanic Clouds are named after now. Admittedly, they have been known for as long as humans have looked at the sky in the southern hemisphere, but for the Western world, they were only discovered by
you know what target
and
was
made
supposed
popular
to,
by
or
Magellan
what star
on
was
his
supposed to
voyage, which I'm
target?
about to tell you about. So, the reason I'm going to tell you this is because
the
he's a
first one
famous
anyway,
explorer,
for a mass
and I
jump.
think there's some lessons and some parallels to learn from his story. So,
No.
just to fill like the last 5 or 10 minutes, just
Because
gonna
after
tell a
the
quick
mass
story
jump,
about his
it
life,
doesn't
and I
really matter.
hope
Whoa.
I get the details right, because I'm not a historian, but I've just kind of read up on him the last few days. So, it was around the time when Columbus had discovered the New World, and there were spice wars going on in that originally the spices that were basically fueling the economy of Europe back then were controlled
lots of
by
pirates in here,
Venice
man.
and controlled by the Arab world, and Portugal had kind of found a way of getting all the way to India and back and bringing along the spices and kind of usurping the economy from Venice. So there were wars, like wars at sea, with the Arabs and with Venice against Portugal. Magellan made a hero out of himself back then. He was in Malacca in Malaysia, and there was a plot. The Sultan there had invited the captain of his ship to a game of chess.
Man, I
and
believe there's some safety
Magellan
call,
was
right?
left back on the boat, and he noticed all these boats creeping up to do an attack.
Commander Clemtall.
And so Magellan kind of
Bright
very
orange
calmly
beluga.
walked to the palace and told his captain that he needs to come back to the boat, and there was a battle, and you know they made it out. There were about 80 deaths, I think, at that event, but he managed to save the vast majority. Anyway, skipping ahead,
Who's shooting?
he was an aspiring explorer. I guess he wanted to make his fortune, which is something we can all relate to, because not all of us go out there purely for the sake of exploration, but I guess he also wanted to see the world. If you look at the way his expedition went, it actually does kind of tell that he was interested in exploring as well as making money. So it took a while. He was framed for something he didn't do. Apparently, we don't really know the truth, but in the end, he was kind of spurned by the king of Portugal. So he decided to go to Spain instead, and he told the Spanish king that he could find a new way around the world to the Indies to kind of get hold of spices and help the Spanish economy. And of course the king was very interested in that, so he
Another one bites the
funded Magellan. And Magellan then took 5 ships and decided to try
Let's
to
see
get to
what
the
you're carrying.
Indies
Dude, you
by
don't
going
want to know what I'm
around
carrying.
this what's called the I actually can't remember, but a straight through South America to get through to the Pacific Ocean and hopefully onto the Indies. So he set out with his 5 ships, and all of the ships were full of Spanish captains and Spanish crew, and they didn't trust him, they didn't like him. And not only that, he realised that, so he was being quite stern and quite cold. And in order to avoid Portuguese ships that were obviously going to try and stop him in any way they could, he took a beeline south instead of going straight for America. And then there was a mutiny by one of the captains, and so he put that captain in stocks and he calmed it down for a second. There was a second mutiny at some point, and he calmed that down. And they eventually did cross the Atlantic Ocean and made it to South America. And then they went to Rio de Janeiro, and they restocked, and then they carried on south looking for this strait. I think it was the Rio River. Well, it turned out, he thought that was it, but it turned out to be a dead end, so that was a big disappointment. At this point, his crew was starting to give up hope and want to turn back, but he insisted that they carry on. This obviously led to eventually another mutiny when they carried on and they wanted to head back, and things were getting colder. It was approaching winter in the southern hemisphere, so they ended up stopping. They did see loads of cool things, like hopefully we're going to see. They saw large humans which they called Patagonians. They tried to capture one. And I think they actually did capture one, which is not good, but anyway, we'll move on. They saw penguins and seals for the first time, and I think they call them dark dogs and dark chickens or something. It's all really cool. It's a big parallel. We're going to be going out and finding new things and going into uncharted territories and doing what explorers do in general. They eventually did find the strait. It was very difficult to navigate. That reminds me of Distant Stars. It took a lot of complicated twists and turns to be able to get into the Cancri cluster, and that's exactly what they did on the Strait of whatever. As I say, I forgot the name. I'm not a very good storyteller. They eventually made it through. They had restocked, but unfortunately the Pacific Ocean was way bigger than they ever could have dreamed. So a lot of people died of scurvy and malnutrition by the time they got to the first few islands. Now this is another... Is it the Strait of Magellan? Yeah, thank you. Okay, it's Strait of Magellan, thank you. Thank you, Google, or whoever, historian. And, Latroski's DBX's name Magellan. So this is really cool. He is an inspiration in some ways, except for the next part of the story. So the next part of the story is when he eventually got to what's now known as the Philippines, he encountered the natives, and he put on his missionary hat, I'm going to bring Christianity to the native barbarians of this place, and he had some success, which inspired him to try and get involved in another island. Unfortunately, they revolted, and unfortunately it ended in a battle where Magellan was killed. So let that be the final lesson for us, that if we are going to encounter any new civilizations, let's try and bring a message of peace and understanding, rather than war, which is what's kind of happened with the Thargoids and sent everything going quite badly. He was killed, but at least one more ship, and a few other people on another ship eventually made it back to Spain. They were the first people to fully circumnavigate the entire globe, so that again is something to inspire us on our way. Now that's the end of my story. It's time to start lining up for a mass jump. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a star in the general direction of where we're going. In fact, if everyone here could actually... Let's see. Actually, if you want to make the mass jump perfect, I'm going to pick something...
Where are you going?
Good. So, something nearby that everyone could use. I think the first jump should be to... Cole 285 sector. OZ-K Bravo 23-3. I'm leaving it on the screen for a few minutes so everyone can target that. Oh, a few people have put in something else. Alright, changed my mind. People have put in HR space 5413. Okay, it's not in the exact direction we're going, but it'll do. So that's HR Human Resources space 5413. Yeah, okay, apparently that's what everyone's doing. I'm unaware, unfortunately, because I'm just focused on this live stream, but thank you for that. So if everyone could target that system and basically get ready to... What the general protocol in these is to have your throttle at 0 and then get your FSD charging like I'm doing now. And when it's... Oh, but don't accidentally charge the super cruise. You need to charge to hyperspace. So for me that's X D-pad down, which I believe is the default. Have it fully charged so that all you need to do is hit the throttle up and then we can all go together on the count of 10. So the expedition launches at exactly 2000, i.e. 8 PM UTC, which is in 5 minutes and 30 seconds now. If there's any last minute questions, I'm just gonna dip into the big chat that's going on Discord right now and just see if anyone has anything they want to shout out to the live stream. Please bear in mind that my stream is supposed to be PG rated, that's child friendly, so if anyone blatantly flaunts that, I'm not going to be pleased. So I'm joining the expedition voice now. It says it has over 100 commands in it, so...
Wait for the...
Hello everyone, you are now live to 1396 people. If you want to say hi.
I think I've never seen people. -5 minutes, by the way. Launch is 5 minutes.
Okay, this isn't going so well because of Discord problems.
5 minutes.
I'm not sure, can anyone hear me as I say?
Yeah. Very free.
This is the sound of hundreds and hundreds of people breaking Discord.
Handle the people.
Okay, I'm gonna have to leave unfortunately. I'm going back to the other chat, but it's been nice to see everyone. Yeah, TeamSpeak would have been good, but unfortunately it didn't do so well last time, so we didn't really promote it this time around, and Discord has 10,000 people on it already, so... Oh, I just cannot find my own chat anymore. I'm scrolling through literally thousands of people, it feels. Okay, one final word. We have a protocol for what happens if any attack happens, and I don't want to... Basically, the reason why I haven't mentioned it until now is because that's the goal. I want to just minimize anything to do with ganking. Unfortunately, if it happens to you, it's not going to be pleasant. I hope it's not going to happen to the vast majority of us. And if it does happen, the best thing you can do is just calmly log out, not make a big deal about it, not feed the griefers. Just log out, be in touch with Frontier Support, tell them what happened. Hopefully, I mean, as they would for anyone, they should restore you with all your data intact and just move on as if nothing happened. That person will get kicked. They might make a video, nobody's going to watch it. Nobody cares really. So that's the general mood for the griefing situation, and that's all I'm going to say on that. And my final word is a big thank you to the 1,441 people on this stream, and to the many thousands of people that I hope are going to watch this stream afterwards. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for joining us on this epic journey crossing the galaxy. Distant Worlds 1, true, we organised it, but all we did was basically give you a direction, give you a bit of structure, but the expedition was you. You guys, you 12,000 people right now, are the ones that are going to make everything memorable about this expedition. And what I would absolutely love to see is creativity. I want to see games, I want to see events, I want to see crazy things happening, I want to see explosions of SRVs and SLFs only, hopefully. I want to see new ideas, just things that are just going to give Charlie plenty to write about, things that have never been seen before in a game, and at the end of it I want the same thing that happened with Distant Worlds 1. Distant Worlds 1 was an event that only had positive things said about it. Now imagine that, Elite Dangerous, a game that everyone's passionate about, gets a lot of negative things said about it just because that's the nature of games and everyone has an opinion about everything. But can you imagine, in that environment, people can only say positive things about Distant Worlds? That's what happened. Everywhere I look, the comment sections of articles, the forums, everywhere where people talk, Reddit, all that happened was positive, wow, that looks cool. And at the end of it, anyone who took the time to come to me and say anything, they basically said some version of, that was the best thing I ever did in a game ever. So yeah, that's what we're expecting again. That's the bar we've set, and we're going to have to cross again. So big thank you to everyone in advance for all the awesome stuff that's about to happen. Okay, T-minus 1 minute. Any final words from the organisers? sure my organisers have plenty to say. They just maybe can't hear me because Discord is broken.
Final word. The
Little
stuff with that's really it's about.
Alright, everyone's breaking up unfortunately. I think everything's exploding. So, yeah.
Yeah, no,
we
if you can hear me, James.
I can barely hear you unfortunately. We've got 20 seconds. When it comes down to the countdown, I want everyone in this Discord chat to join me. When I say go, everybody throttle to maximum. Let's jump to HR 5413. Distant Worlds 1, Distant Worlds 2 is about to begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage!
Engage.
Ah.
Oh yeah, guess who I met today? Obsidian Ant.
Rolling? Oh.
Obsidian Ant. I haven't seen Crow in a long time.
Yeah, I think Waypoint 5, it upset him so much he didn't join this one.
I'm stuck
Jump on board into those cars. Or will the wandering souls come and lend a hand for the distant worlds?
Yeah, nice song.
Or take a blast or two, cause in those pristine rings there's a fortune for you. We'll work together, my
Anyway, time to get to the 9G world. I think that's the real start of the expedition.
Into those cores. Lend a hand for the distant world.
I'm stuck in hyperspace.
That was a song written for Distant Worlds 2. Come and lend a hand for the Distant Worlds. This song will be shared. It isn't the official soundtrack, I would say. It's the official song of Distant Worlds. It's written by Tom Cook, aka Tokoso, and the details will be shared as well as the lyrics. And I think it's an absolutely beautiful song. Let's take a look at what we've arrived at in this system. Look at that. That's it. The clock is now negative.
Are we staying in a wing or
officially
not?
in Distant Worlds 2 time. I'm going to end the stream here and let you guys have the adventure of a lifetime, and we'll be back. I'm just going to see if I can get a goodbye from our organisers if Discord is not exploding.
What,
Any
Shapley?
goodbyes from our fellow organisers, anyone?
Yeah, I'm gonna head off in a bit. Good night to all of you, and God.
We've got 1,634 people in the stream. We can hear you. We heard your well wishes. Goodbye to everyone. Getting loads of 07s. And if we could just end on a quick phosphorus. Anyone who saw the Elite Dangerous live stream will know what phosphorus means.
No.
Phosphorus, everyone. Servers don't be they're not dead for me.
Fly safe, everybody.
Thanks very, very much.
And I think we already killed the server because every jump is
but I can't just
a minute or two in
Get
hyperspace.
away and have your own adventures now. Phosphorus, everyone. Good luck. Godspeed.
This time we haven't even left.
Good luck, buddy.
Why did I accidentally hit the drop button, damn it?
Okay, connection error.
Oh, they're getting a few of those. Not too bad. I'm in the endless blue tunnel here. Yeah. I think he's crashed. He didn't come with us off the surface.
Yeah.
He stayed behind. Oh man.
Yeah, I had to. My computer.
I just got a connection error too. Fuck this.
My computer fucked up when I had to install my printer there, scanner.
And the server fucked up after the mass jump, so...
Yeah, it's telling me I have to install my game. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a mistake. I might have to log in, log out again. Gee.
Yeah, the launcher doesn't want to even open, I hear. Yeah. Now, can't connect to Frontier servers.
Have we taken internet then?
But Glenn, do you remember the Gold Conda song?
Yeah, it's still there. Fuck off. Well, to be honest, it's not a bad place to blow up. I'll make a point of landing on you in Beagle Point.
Ah, that reminds me of the last round I did at Bug Killer. Basically, I called in my ship to leave, and my ship tried to land on top of a Thargoid.
I'm gonna restart my computer.
Bug Killer is one of the crashed anacondas where you can find rarity 5 material, and the only thing is Thargoids keep flying over you. So I recalled my ship on top of the Thargoid. The Thargoid just booped the side.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna go get myself something to eat. I'll be back later and I'll complete the run to, where is it? Omega, I think it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the servers have been overwhelmed for like the last 2 days, man. Oh, yeah. I was here at Paliani for the last 2 days. It was insane. Oh, absolutely insane. Everybody's talking. Go to FleetCom right now and see if you can get a word in edgewise. Good luck.